Canada, Main Secretary Justin Trudeau says his by the government had no participation in the detention of a top execution of China Telecom's gigantic Huawei. Meng Wanzhou, Huawei's head finance official and the child of its founding member, was arrested at Vancouver Airport on a U.S. issuance query. China has claimed her produce, inviting the detention a humane rights infringement. The extortion include not been done social. Huawei told it was no aware of any offense by Ms. Meng. She many faces a collateral listening on Friday. The detention comes at a susceptible period for US-China relations. The nations are blocked in a trading war. How has seen both of levy duties on billions of dollars of one else's consumer goods. But the detention has indignant China and threatens to ignite tensions in the U.S. Over-accountable offered how Ms. Meng's detention could be associated to a U.S. inquiry in a probable infringement of sanctions regime versus Iran. U.S. Domestic Safety Advisor John Bolton rejected to commentary on the while surveyed by journalists. Instead of he told how, usually talk, he had huge concerns above China firms' industry practices and their probable operative as weapon of the by the government. Ms. Meng is the business's head finance official and the founding member's child. Huawei is one of the greatest telecommunication machinery and services providers in the planet, newly fleeting home to be the other biggest smartphone manufacturer following Samsung. The detailed information of the extortion versus Ms. Meng stay unidentified following she desired a publishing prohibition, that was given by the Canada magistrate. Her detention was not shown by the Canada authorities before environment, the day while she had her at first trial exterior. Talk to reporters in Montreal, Mr. Trudeau told his by the government was said on the detention a few days in advance, but it did not act a part. I can convince everyone how we are a nation in an freelance judicial, he told. Several West governments terror Beijing will profit accessing to 5G, 5G RAM, portable and some communication networks via Huawei and extend its espionage capacity, though the company insists down there is no by the government monitoring. U.S. lawmakers include often charged the business of creature a risk to U.S. domestic safety. Out of manufacturing particular link to Huawei, U.S. Safety Advisor Mr. Bolton told his nation had huge concerns for year on the experience of China firms to use kidnapped us intelligent characteristic, to attract in constrained technique transfers, and to be utilized as weapon of the China by the government's objectives in regulation of data technique in special. It is difficult to exaggerate the symbology and importance of the occasion. Huawei is the corona jewelry of China technology and Ms. Meng is efficaciously its duchess. Although it's yet not precise which the extortion versus her are, the is not just a instance on the detention of one female, or fair one business. The detention could substantially harm the relation among the U.S. and China at perhaps one of the largest susceptible times among the two countries in their length and hot story. The gloves are away. Things include undertaken a drama rotate for the worst. A China Overseas Ministry representative said reporters, this arrest out of give or any cause violates a man's humane rights. We include done ceremonial representations to Canada and the U.S., needing how both of parties once explain the reasons for the arrest, and once produce the arrested person to defend the man's legislative rights. In a declaration, Huawei told it had done in all appropriate laws and regulation wherever it operates, consisting appropriate exportable monitoring and penalty laws and regulation of the UN, US and EU. The business as well told in an email to suppliers, we trust it is unwise of the US by the government to use these kinds of approaches to affect blood pressure on a industry essence. They are versus the ghost of complementary economics and equitable contest.